Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Gene. I'm from Pinoy Woodworking and DIY channel. And this afternoon, I want to talk about hand tools. Okay, so I don't really use hand tools that often. I'm a power tool guy. I prefer power tools. I think power tools are faster and they're more efficient than hand tools. That's my personal thing. If you like hand tools, that's good for you. But I think it's also a good skill to have to know how to use hand tools. People before power tools, people can make really nice furnitures and woodworking using just hand tools. And until now, most of the hand tool users that I know, pure hand tool users, they can make an awesome masterpiece using just hand tools. Now, I'm not one of those people. I'm not an expert in hand tools. I just know how to use them and use them properly. And if you can do that, you can actually make a lot of stuff using these tools. Now, if I want to, if someone, for example, want to start this hobby using hand tools, I want to talk about the basic tools that people can start and where can you get these tools cheaply or affordably, yes, so you can start doing your things. All right. So here are the tools that I like to use. These are just the basic tools, basic hand tools that I really like to use when I'm doing woodworks. But most of the time I use power tools, so these things are just in my storage like that, except for the chisels. I like those chisels. All right, so let's talk about power tools first. Hand tools first. All right, but before we talk about these tools, I want to talk about the things, important thing. These tools are all good, but you have to maintain them. So, how do you maintain your tools? Of course, you have to keep them sharp. And that's the first thing that you have to know, how to keep your, for example, planer and chisels sharp. And of course, for that, you have to use a sharpening system. What I use is on my past video, I showed it to you, this one. It's a whetstone, just a whetstone, an ordinary whetstone, nothing fancy. So and then I'll just use this board to sharpen my chisels and my planer blades. So that's it. It's very simple. That's just it. Or you can also, if you don't have a stone, you can just use sandpaper like this one. So I have a 4 grit sandpaper. I got 350, I think, 600, 1.5, and 2000 grit sandpapers. I just glued them to this piece of glass, flat glass, and I use this to sharpen my chisels and my planer blades as well. And they're effective, very effective. And of course, if you want to keep your tools, if you're sharpening your tools, you want to keep your angle correctly, you can use a honing guide like this one. This is just cheap. You can buy this from Lazada online shop. It's around 300 pesos to 400, or in other hardwares they sell this much cheaper. All right, so let's proceed now to our tools. So the first tool that you need to have is, of course, a mallet, a wooden mallet. So I just made this yesterday, and I really like it. It is really cool. It's just made of scrap pine. I mean scrap Japanese hardwood. So I just made this using power tools. Of course, I did not use hand tools making this. But if I want to use this to do some hand tool work, then it's perfect. You can use this to drive chisels like that. Yeah, it's just a perfect tool. And if you're just a newbie in woodworking, I would suggest the first project that you make is actually a wooden mallet. It's very simple to do. There's lots of instructions on the internet that you can find. Now, the next set of tools important are a set of chisels. Doesn't have to be the best chisels. It doesn't have to be Marple's chisels or Veritas or like that. You can get away with basically simple chisels or even bad chisels, shit chisels. Okay, so you just have to keep them sharp. All right, so you just have to keep them sharp and maintain, and yeah, it could last a very long time. This one, my chisel sets, these are These are antiques. These are given to me by my father. Are they the best chisels? No, they're not. They're not that good. But I keep them sharp, and they do the job well. So the only problem is that because the quality is not that good, you have to sharpen them all the time if I'm using them. But otherwise, they're simple and they're robust and they're really good. All right. Next one are hand planes. Okay, hand planes like this one. Stay away from those cheap hand planes that you can see on you can see on hardwares like this one. This one is an eagle. Stay away from this. This is shit. Okay, so it's a shit hand plane, and this is just horrible. You know, I've done a lot with this to make it work better, but no, this costs around 600 pesos. So don't waste your money on those eagle hand planes. Just get a decent one. Maybe the cheapest one that I know, the decent one is the like this one. This is a gross. It's made in India. This is a jack plane. It's number 5 jack plane. It's JP5, and it's great. The blade's not that sharp when you get it, but once I sharpen it, it works really well. This costs around 2,000 pesos. Yes, the smaller one, the number 4 gross plane is cheaper. It's around 1,500 or 1,400. Yeah. And also, I use this one. This is an antique hand plane, and it's missing the chip breaker, but I still use it. It's good for hand planing or rough planing. And of course, this is what I like, a small block plane. This is very nice. I always have this on my tool bag. That fucking dog is noisy as fuck. Okay, it's distracting. All right, anyway, fuck that dog. Okay, all right, anyway, so I use that all the time. Now, when it comes to cutting wood, of course, the tool that you will use is a saw. This one is made by Lotus. This is very cheap, around 300 pesos. You don't need to buy the most expensive saw. Just keep them sharp, even if you buy the cheap ones. But if you have access to those antique saws and those good quality ones, you can buy those things, of course. But I like this one because of the handle. It's very comfortable in your hand. It's more comfortable than those wooden handles. I don't know. I just like this. I just like this. But my favorite hand saw is actually my Japanese saw. This one is, I got this from the Japan surplus store. Cost me around 100 pesos. Okay, so I bought the blade for 50 pesos, and then I bought the handle here with the shitty blade for like, I don't know, 100, and then I just removed the shitty blade and then replace it with this brand new blade, and it works wonderful. So that's my favorite manual saw. I use that all the time. And other tools like this marking gauge. It's a Japanese marking gauge. You can use this to mark your projects like that. A combination square is used to measure, and of course a marking knife. I don't have a specific marking knife. I don't have one of those, but I just use an X-Acto knife like this one, Stanley knife, to mark my projects. So those are the hand tools that I use. Again, I'm not an expert in hand tool work, but these are the things that I think are essential for people that want to start hand tool or yes, carpentry, or what we call mano mano, right? So it's manual carpentry or manual woodworking. These are the things, essential first tools that you need. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just get the cheapest one that you can, and you can start from there, right? You can start from there, and you can just maintain them, make them sharp, and they can serve you for years and years and years. All right. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for watching this short video, and I hope that you like my presentation about hand tools. So maybe next time I could make a hand tool project, so you can see how easy it is to use these tools. All right, that's it. This is Gene again from Pinoy Woodworking and DIY channel, and I'm saying goodbye.